G'day guys and welcome back. I have a brand new video for you today where we're going to be looking at a PvP guide. Without further ado, let's just jump right on in. It's going to be a very simple and easy guide to follow today, which essentially is going to cover how to play PvP in the modern meta. PvP is a super tricky matchup, lots of different things that can go wrong for you, lots of different options that you can choose from, but the standard way to play is with a Blink Stalker expand, right? You're going to go up to 3 bases really quickly with Blink Stalkers for defense. And then from there, either you go Blink Stalker Disruptor, you go chargelot, archon, maybe some immortals. Really, you have a lot of freedom to play this matchup. But if you want to play macro, this guide is going to be perfect for you. Very simple. Gate on 16, completely standard. This game, we're going to be doing a 2-gate expand. Now, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, maybe it is really quite good. On some maps nowadays, you can actually do 1-gate expand. In fact, it's the meta on these maps. But on a map like this, where the ramp to the natural does not exist, you know, it's flat at the natural, we do 2-gate expand. So gateway, double gas, then second gateway, chrono boost 2 times, and then rally workers in. You want to get to 16 workers on the mineral line, and then never touch anything else. You know, I don't take any off it. If you wanted to go for a really quick Stargate play, you would have to take workers off it. But we're playing macro, we're building Stalkers, we're building Warp Gate. It's not that expensive, we're not going for a really quick Stargate. So this is a great way to balance it. I do lose 1 because I chase, you know, this around. 22 Pylon, very easy to forget that. Let's go back to my POV. So, what I'm doing when I'm scouting around his base, I'm looking to see that he has a second Pylon in his base. Because I see that there's a second Pylon, it cannot be a proxy. Something that you do have to be very careful, though, is they can fake this second Pylon and build a third one out on the map proxy. But the way you scout for that is very simple. This is super high level. If you guys, you know, are not Grandmaster, don't worry about this. But you can count the probes on the mineral line, and there should be 15 there, right? With 3 in each gas. If you count 14, and the way we count 14 is because, you know, 2 per mineral patch. So you'll notice if there's 1 missing. Then we know that there's another probe out on the map. So that's the way that we scout for proxies. I'm not going to be detailing how to deal with proxies. I'll probably deal with that in another future video. But, you know, stay on one base, scout around the map as best you can, build some shield batteries. That's the general idea. So we're going to start with double Stalker in this game. You can start Stalker Sentry if you'd like. You can start double Adept. Really, any of these choices are fine. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a Pylon in their natural. We build this Pylon to see what their first units are. If they attack it with 2 Stalkers, we cancel. If they attack it with Stalker Sentry, we probably cancel as well. But against double Adept, don't cancel it. Run across the map with your 2 Stalkers and get super aggressive. So in this game I see, because he's, you know, trying to hide it, his Stalker Sentry, I actually scouted with the probe back up just to see. Now after 2 Stalkers, you could even get 4 Stalkers here, and go across the map with these 4 Stalkers and get really aggressive. That's perfectly fine as well. If you want to be defensive, you add 2 Sentries, you add a shield battery in the natural, and then you add a 3rd Sentry. If you're being all-in, you would chrono boost Warp Gate. That's the general gist of things here. Make sure you don't get supply blocked on 39. So we actually keep building probes throughout all of this. Slight supply block on purpose though. You know, not being too greedy. You know, you could cancel and not build this 3rd Sentry to, you know, resume probe production earlier. But I go Twilight. I don't start my Forge until I know what I'm up against. If you want to be unsafe, you can definitely, you know, start the Forge earlier. But, you know, just because we open Sentries after our first 2 Stalkers, our scouting is a bit delayed. So we, you know, need to be careful. I end up warping into safety Stalkers because I'm thinking, you know, maybe there's a Stargate, something like this. So if you're dying a lot to Oracles, just always warp in these 2 Stalkers. Nice and simple. The other reason I'll say this is I actually go for a different game plan in this game than I usually do, where I take a really quick 3rd base, before my four gateways. The order of it you can really switch around. But because I'm not going to be going up to my 3rd and 4th gateway so quickly, I constantly warp in Stalkers so that I have a big enough army. It's a trade-off, right? Nice and simple. So my hallucination goes across the map, sees Twilight Forge, very nice and happy with that. We're up in workers because we've been building workers throughout all of this. Never stop building workers in a macro game. Now we add our forge. And the other key thing that I'll probably mention is the reason why we build 3 sentries is that it's constant hallucinations. Without 3 sentries, you don't have constant hallucinations. But now we have perfect map vision. We'll be able to see when our opponent takes a 3rd base, all that kind of stuff. So actually see, we're going to go take a 3rd base, but he ends up, sending in 2 adepts. Kind of annoying. I think I lose a sentry here, which is not ideal. That's fine though. Yeah, not the best. Now, I've had to spend a bit of money here. Lost 1 or 2 workers, right? Not ideal. Need to make sure we start +1 attack earlier. It's a mistake in this game. You have a choice now. Either you build your 3rd and 4th gateway. That's what I do in probably 70-80% of my games. Then you have the choice, do I build the robo? And then you build the 3rd. Essentially, you can change the order around. Your 3rd base, your next 2 gateways, and your robo are all interchangeable. But you have to get them. It's a convergence point. So in this game, I take my 3rd Nexus nice and quick. I think after watching a Showtime game, he was taking it off, 2 gates, so I felt like that was a good idea to do. Then I'm going to add more gateways and a robo. My +1 attack is quite late in this game, unfortunately. But that's totally fine. 1 adept is nothing to worry about. It's all good. So we've been building workers throughout all of this. We then take our 3rd gas. I've been a bit thrown off this game, which is not the best. You can definitely take this 3rd gas a tiny bit earlier. So there you go. Next gateway's down. Probably going to build a robo. Nice. If you suspect that, your opponent's going DTs, they are suspiciously lacking units or tech in their base, or you just straight up see the Dark Shrine, build the robo earlier. You always get it, so it's fine. Now, I built a shield battery at the 3rd base. You can definitely build a 2nd shield battery there. If you want to be nice and safe, build a 2nd shield battery, and you'll be really, really safe, and a lot of the top players do it, so don't feel bad for doing it. Now once I get to a Stalker count that I'm happy with, and there we go, I build a 2nd shield battery. Once I get to a Stalker count that I'm happy with, I'm going to be not building anymore. I'm going to get +2 attack, I'm going to get charge, Templar archives, and 4 more gateways, right? This is just the general gist of things. If you wanted to play Blinkstalker Disruptor, you would be probing up and continuously be building Stalkers, right? Because you're not really relying on chargelots. And then once you add Gaston in 3rd base, you would add the Robo Bay and start going Disruptors, right? In this game, Chrono Boost out your upgrades. See, I'm not building any more Stalkers. I could definitely be warping in, but instead I'm adding all these gateways. I'm powering up. My hallucinations have been going across the map and, been seeing that my opponent is doing likewise. So I, don't have to worry about being attacked. In terms of executing this build better, my opponent has built immortals. My opponent has built +2 attack. My opponent has built charge, all earlier than me. I believe as well. Actually, he's only on 4 gateways. So it's a bit of a trade-off, right? I went really quick up to 8 gateways. He went up to, an immortal. An immortal's very, very expensive. This is what I'll say, by the way. You'll notice I don't build an immortal in this game. And the reason why I don't build an immortal is they're not very good units. It's hard to sort of say. Immortals are interesting units, I guess, in PvP. My recommendation is don't build them. If you're, on 3 bases, don't build them. The times when you should build them are, you're going up against a Blinkstalker all-in and you have to survive. Immortals are great then. But we're building so many chargelots and archons to break force fields that immortals just don't really do anything. There is a little point in the game where immortals then do become better again later on, but for the most part, don't worry about building immortals. It's fine, just build chargelots, archons, and you'll do much, much better. So this game, I'm using an observer. I put it over here to get vision. I also built a pylon here to spot for warp prisms. So that's the general map vision I'm trying to get. Taking the watchtower and then constantly hallucinating as well. Anything. Now I built a warp prism, so we could get really, really aggressive here if we wanted. Or we can take a fourth base. Either way, even if you want to be really aggressive, you notice I sort of missed this. You take a fourth gas if you want to play more defensive, but you can also just do this off 3 gases and take like a fake fourth base, right? And then hit a super strong timing. However you feel like playing it, this build will set you up for it, right? Essentially, you want to hit at +2 attack, a +2 attack timing, Stalkers, Zealots, Archons. My gateways were down earlier, so I should have more Zealots. And if we look in this game, yeah, I have 12 Zealots. He has 4. He spent a lot of money investing into those 2 Immortals, which are essentially useless, is what I will say. But yeah, I'm going to end up being defensive in this game, just because my +2 attack was so delayed, right? But you can definitely get aggressive as well, and you win a lot of games. Try and hit between the 2 bases, the natural and the 3rd base. And blink on top on the shield battery, something like this. So I send my Stalkers out, do a bit of scouting, you know, all this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, get that. Stab. And we're just constantly going to be warping in. Just keep warping in, okay? That's all you got to do. Focus on warping in. Zealots, Archons. The kind of scouting that I'm doing now is to see if he's going disruptors, what he's doing exactly, right? Now you're probably like, man, this guy's army must be really good. He has immortals, right? That's what I'm saying. Immortals are not that good, especially offensively. Defensively, they're great with shield batteries. But, you know, I've got such a nice position. Got the shield batteries, got cannons in each base. Got some shield batteries here. Going to be positioning to make sure he doesn't get up onto the high ground. I want to make sure I have the convex. Tries pushing in, but that ain't going to work. You know, we're doing fine, right? We're up in supply quite a bit. I feel like my opponent had a great start to this game, but because he's invested into Immortals, I feel like that's not the best idea. Now, throughout all this, if we just go back, my thought process with this is I'm being defensive. So because I'm being defensive, and I have the defender's advantage, there are some times where you just slowly lose over time. You know, that you slowly get out of position. So immediately throughout all of this, when I feel super safe, robo, bay, start transitioning, moving on to the next thing. I'm being defensive. I've got all these shield batteries, so I want to transition onto disruptors. And this is definitely going to be a decisive move in this game. Making sure I move my observer around, try and see where his army is. Like, okay, there it is. Happy with my positioning. See him moving around to the top, so I'm going to also swing up to the top. Add more shield batteries. I'm being defensive. And because I'm getting disruptors, I know that, you know, it's okay to be defensive. Hope this is making sense to you guys. Now, my Warp Prism isn't really doing anything. I find that at the highest levels, Warp Prisms don't really do too much anymore. Just because Shield Barrier Overcharge is so good. If I had a Dark Shrine, though, I would definitely be going across the map. So I'm using my Stalkers to zone. I don't want to commit with my Zealots because I would be attacking into a convex. And we eventually force him to attack into us. Which, into shield batteries? Good luck, bro. So here we go, here's the fight. As you can see, I'm just high up in the Zealot count. And that's really what matters. It goes 1, the Archon count, and then 2, the Zealot count. Immortal count doesn't matter, Stalker count doesn't matter. But he takes a really bad fight. Maybe this could have gone better for him. Disruptor comes in. But we start to clean this up, so... I believe my styles probably flows a bit better, but... yeah. I definitely recommend not building Immortals, that's all I will say. So I hope this has been a pretty straightforward way to play Protoss vs Protoss. You take a safe expansion, You know, build 5 or 6 gateway units, get blink, get a forge and +1 attack, take a third base off either 2 or 4 gateways, then go up to 4 gateways, robo, and then once you're safely on 3 bases with stalkers, with 2 shield batteries, you then go up to 8 gateways, templar archives, +2 attack and charge, and then just keep warping in zealots. So we end up pushing across the map and winning this game. I think he gives up there. There we go, GG. So hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's a little bit later than usual. Sorry. I'm sorry it's a bit later than usual. I was unfortunately winning the DreamHack Masters Oceania Regional, so got a bit distracted. But I promised you guys I'd put out a video. That's why it's not as good a quality as I would love, but I wanted to put it out. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts, anything you'd like to see in the future, how this turns out for you, if you are enjoying the builds that I'm recommending, all this kind of stuff. I really enjoy making this content for you guys, so yeah, I'd just love to get in contact with you. Alright guys, stay safe, be cool, and good luck on the ladder. Bye bye.